gentlelady from Michigan, Ms. McClain.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you, Madam Secretary, for being here, and thank you so much for your leadership in our joint efforts to downsize the Department of Education. Like you and the President, I believe education policy is best determined by states and local communities, along with parents. Obviously, the closer you are to the students, the more interactive and the more hands-on experience you really have. We have this to deliver the best outcomes for the students. I think that is our goal, is to make sure we're delivering the best outcomes to the students. To that aim, we have seen states, teachers unions, and other bulldoze parents' rights in a pursuit of indoctrination over education. And I think that's what you were alluding to earlier, is we'll teach any subject as long as we can correct the truth with the other half of the truth, and we can teach both sides, which seems what education used to be. We used to teach, and I'm wondering if you agree with me on this, we used to teach children how to think as opposed to what to think. Would that be an accurate assessment?
I think we do need to get back to teaching children more how to think.
Amen. So as we return power to local communities, I'm trying to figure out, how can the federal government fulfill its role in protecting students and the parents' rights? How do you see the federal government, and how can we help ensure that we're protecting students and the people that get lost sometimes, the parents? How do we do that?
Well, certainly returning education back to the states, back more local control, but really what that means, and what the President has said to me, is that he would like to take the bureaucracy out of education. You know, the Department of Education does not establish curriculum in a state. It doesn't hire teachers. It doesn't say what books to buy. It doesn't do any of those things. It is a great pass-through of funding that is appropriated by Congress through Title I, IDEA. Both of those are staying totally intact. But there are competitive grants that are then reviewed by the Department of Education, and so those competitive grants do go to states. And so what we want to do is to make more money available to go directly to the states. When you consider the fact that of every dollar that goes to a state, a teacher is spending about 47 cents of that dollar in regulatory compliance. But if we can get rid of a lot of the red tape that goes along with those grants and those requirements, then there's more money for the states to put forth the programs that they would like to put forth. And that's clearly one of the President's goals.
Yeah. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I want to make sure that I understand you correctly. So what you're saying is, if we took that dollar that right now is earmarked, and 47 cents of that dollar is going for compliance issues, regulatory issues, right? You're saying we would actually have more of that dollar to give to the actual student?
Certainly the goal.
Wow, what a concept. Who could not be for that? I just don't understand. If our goal is truly to educate the student, who would not be for giving more money to the student?
Not only giving more money to the students, but to make sure that parental rights are protected, that parents have more say-so in the curriculum that their students are being taught, that they understand what is going on in the classroom. And I urge parents to take a more active role in their students' education. I think that teaching is one of the most noble professions in our country, but they do need support. They need support at home. And I think parents can, and many parents are so involved, but I urge parents to become more involved in school board elections and just attending those meetings that impact their children.
So it's actually a good thing when parents show up at school board meetings, and it's really a good thing when parents are involved. They're not terrorists or whatnot. That's a good thing. We actually want parents involved in the students' education.
Absolutely.
To that end, I know parents have the right to opt out of specific lesson plans for their child if it goes against their specific religious belief or whatnot. But I believe at times it's difficult for the parent to get that done. What do you see moving forward to make it easier for parents to opt their child out of something that they don't want them involved in. How do you see that happening?
Well, there again, that's really part of the local education system, and the Department of Education does not have jurisdiction or control over that. I would just urge parents, though, independently, to continue to approach their school boards, their individual schools, the teachers, and the superintendents to make their voices heard.
And with that, my time has expired. Thank you all for all of your work to getting actual more dollars to where it should go to the actual
I
students.
thank the
So
gentlelady.
you.